Welcome to Uni Speaks Podcast. I'm your host, Shada. And today I have guest speaker Pender with some guest listeners. We are going to call them the Bays. What up? And Pender,
Hey, hey.
thank you so much for joining us today on this episode, everyone. And today is episode 7. And episode 7 is outgrowing friendships. And to let you know that it's okay to outgrow friendships. And we're telling you the reasons why, because a lot of people hold on to people that they really need to let go for a
Facts.
lot of reasons. And it's really not conducive to their growth, right? We'll start there because sometimes you can leave people in growth. So we're going to go ahead and jump right on into it and talk about it's okay to outgrow friendships. Um, when is it okay to outgrow friendships?
You know what? Let's normalize outgrowing friendships because there are. Let's be real. A lot of people hold on to friendships, relationships, partnerships, situationships because they're afraid of abandonment issues. But sometimes it's okay to outgrow those friendships because that's a sign of growth, maturity, and sometimes you have to leave certain people behind because they'll pull you down. But people are so afraid of what's on the other side of that door, and they've been friends with this person for so long, even if they're not even good for them. They're not good for their soul. You still go on to that friendship. So let's normalize outgrowing people who no longer serve purpose in our life.
Correct. And speaking from experience, Pender, you know me. I have outgrown tons of people. I've given up a lot of friendships, and I've severed ties with people like that I literally called family because I realized a lot of things, and sometimes that friendship became draining and they were still on nonsense and bullshit. And after a while, like, I understand through thick and thin, you standing in the paint, you roll tide with this person. But if you see that, like, bitch, it's been 18 years. In 18 years, we still talking about the same thing. And you haven't let it go in or move forward, or your mental is still stuck in 1937. I can't continue to do this. And when it's draining for my mental clarity, for my peace, for my sanity, and for my happiness, I learned like I had to let go.
Yeah, that's true. Like there are people who you have in your friends, and you can't even really call them friends because like the only time they call you is when they need you. They only call you when they need to vent, and they're like, "Oh, you my friend, you my bestie." But the only time you hear from that person is when
when it's beneficial,
when something's going wrong.
Right. And then you get on the phone with that person, and then sometimes they're like those Debbie Downer friends where they just talk about all the bad in their life. And when you get off the phone with them, you're mentally exhausted from talking to that person. So it's like after a while, maybe years of dealing with this same person, you look like, why am I even in this? This doesn't benefit me in any type of way. And when I get off the phone with this person, I feel drained. I feel tired. And you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right. No, I definitely understand where you're coming from. Like sometimes, like, I need a drink. I don't even smoke, but if I knew how to hit a blunt, I would. Like, I'm just stressed out after the conversation. But then it's just like you sit there and you think like, bro, I've been having the same conversation with this person. It could be male or female because nowadays these men are wired like females. So you can just sit and have a conversation. I only hear from you when you're going through it with your man or you going through it with your girl. I only hear from you when you need advice on something. I only hear from you when it's convenient for you, right? We only hang out and grab drinks when you want to vent with me, but it's never, hey girl, like what you doing today? Let's hang out. You know what I mean? It's always one of those things. People use you for what you can give them, but they give you nothing in return.
Like I literally had a friendship with a person who would call me. It got to the point where I used to tell this person, before you even speak, when you call me, ask me if I have the time and the energy and the mental capacity to sit and listen to you. Because I know when you call, you just going to call and pour everything onto me. And I'm going through my own stuff right now. So I may not have the mental capacity to hear everything you're saying. The person didn't respect my boundaries. And I literally just stopped picking the phone up, and I had to
Right.
end that friendship because it took too much out of me. And at that time I was on my self-love journey, girl. So I was
Right.
myself first. So I still don't talk to that person today. And it wasn't a bad fight or anything.
Mm-hmm.
We grew apart because I could no longer serve you.
And I totally agree with that, and I totally stand on that, because sometimes we forget to choose ourselves, and we forget, like you said in the beginning, like abandonment issues. I don't believe I have any abandonment issues, and if I do, I'll admit it later, right? But it's one of those things where I'm so used to people leaving. For me to leave someone in friendship is easy, because I realize, like, there is nothing that you're bringing to my table besides your nonsense. And I see what you're using me for. And a lot of people struggle with seeing that people are using them.
Right.
And because they are so, like, I don't know, I want to say guided, but that's not the word. Because they are so, and I'm going to say stuck on, but I don't even think that's the words, but they're so something. If y'all can figure out the word, tell me later, about being a good person and standing on being a good person, they continue to deal with nonsense from people that they really don't have to deal with.
Right.
And they end up becoming dry. And it's not fair. That's a one-sided friendship.
It is.
One-sided friendships are like bullshit. I can't even give you a acronym or whatever metaphor, right? But one-sided friendships are bullshit. Like, and I understand, and I've been there, and it's
Okay. I was
oh,
like,
we're back. Technical difficulties. So technical difficulties. So my screen locked, but we can edit this part out. So it's just one of those things where, like, you just got to remember, if a friendship is draining and there's nothing conducive to it, it's okay to let it go.
right. And sometimes friendships don't even end because it's like draining. Sometimes you just simply outgrow people because you are in a different place or a space in your life.
Yeah,
You
correct.
know, you want completely different things. Like
Mhm.
you might be on a mindset of where I want to open up businesses,
Mhm.
and I want to go and take trips, and I want to go back to school. And then you got this friend who you grew up and y'all used to, back in the day, we smoked, we chilled, we hit the clubs up, girl. That was like my road dog. But
Right.
then you're trying to elevate, and this person is still trying to hang out in the streets.
Correct.
And you see that every time you go back to that friend, she pulling you back to the streets, and you see that tug of war is going with your internal versus the external. And the internal, you like, okay, I can't hold on to this friendship because it's not healthy for me anymore. I'm trying to elevate in my life, and you don't want to come with me, so I gotta leave you behind.
Mm-hmm.
Correct. And that's a great segue to my next bullet point, where there's no growth in the other person. Like, from experience and being from Boston, like, I grew up in a city, and I was a chicken head when I came from Boston, not for nothing. You feel me? I was a pigeon. I was a chicken head. You feel me? And right now, who I am today is a different person than who I was. And sometimes, I can reconnect with my people from back home, and I'm like, yo, she still talked the way she talked when we were 15, 16. She's still doing the same things that we were doing when we were 15, 16. It was so bad. Like, my homegirl said, oh, you done moved to Florida and got bougie. You think you better. I don't think I'm better. I just do things differently now. And I realized that, like, I outgrew a lot of my friendships because I matured, because I realized that I did not have to be a product of my environment, and I chose to change my behaviors and the way I handle things, and not for nothing, the way that I spoke, and it was like, I outgrew these hoes.
It's a mindset too. You're in a different mind zone.
Like, I have a kid, like, you talking about going to the club and getting drunk. Back in my heyday, baby, I went to the club, I got drunk, I didn't know how I got home. I can't afford that when I have a child to go home to. So no, I don't want to go to the club. I go to club, turn down the sheets, like, I go to baby free before 10, baby. I'm trying to get there at 8 o'clock and be out by 10.
Listen, perception changes. As your perception changes on life, so does compatibility, and compatibility with those partners change. Listen, Shay, remember a couple of Sundays ago, me and you, we did a podcast, and me and you, we don't do clubs. We did them back in the day when we was young, but after we did that podcast, we decided to go to midday drink. Yes. Thing. Honey,
I heard about that shenanigans.
Yeah,
we couldn't hold up. We ain't about that life no more.
We tapped out. We literally recorded the podcast during the early afternoon. After we left, we hit Wall Street. We kind of bar hopped. We had a few drinks by the end of the night. Yeah, we had a few drinks. Then we ended up at the cigar lounge, and then we were mixing and mingling. Baby, we was nice and tipsy. We went home. I was hungover the next morning. Right. Okay, I couldn't even make it to work. Yeah. I did not come to work. And I called her in the morning. Now, I got up and did my motherly duties. I dropped everyone off. I called her like, bitch, never again. We're going to have 2 drinks limits, and we need to be in the house going home at 7 o'clock. We not going home no later. That's it. After a while, like, our friendship is in sync. You know what I mean? You have to have friendships where you are in sync with people and everyone's on the same page. Like, we can just all hang out and sit around and watch TV and do absolutely nothing. Right? And it's nothing. It's not, oh, bitch, you boring. Let's go rah, rah, rah. No, I just want to sit here and eat my meat.
Right. Like, really. And then you know what, too? That's crazy when you say in sync, because you have some people who have friendships that last a lifetime. Right. But they're not friends every day. Like, meaning, like, we literally met each other in our 20s. We was work friends. And then we're still here in our late 30s, still friends. But we don't every month. I might go a couple of months without talking to you. But when we talk, we pick up right where we left off. Right. You know what I'm saying? So there's different levels to friendships, but some of them you outgrow and you don't pick up where you left off. It might be a work friendship. That's a work friendship. And after you lose that job and they go on their way, you never talk to that person. But that was your work bestie.
Correct.
But you outgrew that job and you outgrew that friendship. And then you have some people who you continue to be friends with outside of work, but it doesn't just last like, oh, we best friends and we together every day and we doing things. No, I can go weeks and months without talking to you, and then we pick up, hey girl, what you doing? Nothing. Let's go out to eat. Let's go out to drink. But you outgrow those too as well. So there's different levels to this thing.
Correct. And speaking of, it's like sometimes people don't understand, like, friendship can be codependent. Like, when your friend actually depends on you for everything under the sun. And God. Sometimes you can outgrow that because that's not where you are. And the friendship shouldn't be you raising your friend.
Right.
The friendship shouldn't be you worried more about your friend than your friend is worried about you or herself.
They don't support you at all, but they expect you to support them in every way.
Exactly. You are not your friend's alarm. You are not your friend's bag checker. You are not your friend's... You can have a codependency and pick up actually a project of a friend. And it's okay to outgrow those friendships once you realize that this is not my place to be doing this for you. I have to do this for myself.
And you know what? That does resonate with a lot of people who have that super saver mentality. Well, they'll pick up a friendship as a project. And then once that person is fixed, they no longer have a need for them anymore because they can't fix them. They can't fine tune them the way that they need to. Or then they get jealous of them because the person starts to outshine. That's another point of a friendship, talking bad about people. But let's get on that later. But
that's a good segue to my next bullet point, because you know what? Sometimes we are friends with people who literally hate on you behind the scenes and are disloyal, who are literally jealous of you and are or is or can be intimidated by you, but loves your company because of the attention that you bring to the circle.
They low-key compete with you, and you see the signs of jealousy too, but you always shrug it off. Oh girl, that's just my friend. You know what I'm saying? Like crazy things like that. They never want to do anything that you like. They always want to do the stuff that they want to do. They try to embarrass you in front of people. Like, I've had those friendships that low key try to embarrass you and laugh at you and stuff. I'm like, girl, you know I'm just playing. Like,
no. Yes.
yeah.
Yes. You absolutely right. And I can say that over the time I have learned, like, okay, yeah, I did have a friend like that. Like, low key, certain situations I realized like maybe she was like intimidated and or jealous about me or jealous of me, which is why she did ABC and XYZ. Maybe it started to ring a bell after a while, because we have people and friends in our corner who only want to come around when we down bad.
Right.
When we down bad.
Technical difficulties. We done fucked up again. Bear with me.
Okay, I got it. Okay. I'm gonna give it a second of pause. I'm gonna say 3, 2, 1, and I'm gonna start something. Wait, I just lost it. Hold on.
Get it back.
Right.
Wait, what you said just now?
I'm like, so sometimes you have friendships that I'm just gonna start talking. So listen, like you have friendships that they gossip about you. I feel like if you have a friendship with somebody and they're always talking about other people, you don't think they talk about you too behind your back?
Baby, right. Say that again. Yes, you're absolutely right. We just gonna go ahead and dive right on into it. It's like one of those things like, okay, so if you talking about these people, I wonder what you say about me
when you're around those people that you're talking about.
Exactly.
Right.
And then and after they were talking about me, well, what did you say? I didn't say nothing because I didn't want to get into it.
Right. Oh, you didn't defend me. You just ain't say nothing. You know what I'm saying? But
right.
You know you're over there talking crap about behind my back.
You
so you
know.
Put eyebrow up in that. You know you lift that eyebrow like.
Mm-hmm. And you know what they said, and the quote is really true. It's always the people that you love the most who hurt you the most. And like I realized, like I had a friendship on a pedestal that I shouldn't have had on a pedestal, because every single time it came down to it, I was shown that it wasn't an equal friendship, right? Like, and it hurt my soul because, I mean, this was my baby. You feel me? Like, she could do no wrong, okay? And it was just one of those things, like, I just realized after a while, like, there's no love lost. You know, we made up, we're cordial, but we're not as tight as we was, like, thicker than thieves tight. You feel me? But now we're not as tight as we was. And not for nothing, I'm not gonna front, it hurts, you know, like damn, I really had to sever this tie because she showed me more than one occasion where I was in her life. Whereas I put you in front of my own blood sisters, like 10 toes down, like this is my sister. I don't care, you know.
Yeah. You support them, but it's not reciprocated at all.
Yeah, like, you know, and I had to learn the hard way. And not for nothing, my dog like told me like, yo, you didn't see it, you was blind to it. And I'm like, yeah, I was, but I see it. You know, I see it now.
Because it was brought to your attention.
Exactly. No, it wasn't brought to my attention. I had to learn the hard way. And I had to learn and get hurt. Because for me, if you are able to hurt me, that means I care for you immensely. Right? And she tore me the fuck up. I'm talking about she tore me the fuck up. And like to this day, you can kind of say I'm not as hurt. I don't think I'm bitter, but I just can't believe she did that.
You're still a little salty.
Yeah, I'm still a little salty. You know, like I'm still a little, I love her to death. No hard feelings, no bad blood. Like she can call me and say, hey, we sit and talk on the phone for an hour. But it's kind of awkward because it's
not going to be the same.
It's not the same because you've done it not once, but twice, behind some nonsense. And I'm just like, you should know me better than that. But there's no love lost.
No, that's true too. If you've been friends with somebody for so long, then they should know you better than you know yourself, almost in a sense. But in reality, friendships are kind of like a reflection of you, and if you always looking at your friend sideways, baby, that might be you just that's the sideways person, not your friend. You know what I'm saying? But I completely understand what you said. It's never gonna be the friend, because y'all was two peas in a pod. I know who you talking about without even talking about her. You know what I'm saying? But y'all was two peas in a pod. Hell, y'all was three peas in a pod at one time.
Then we cut that hoe off, because that hoe was shady. Like you see, I cut that bitch off real quick. You got one time to slight me, bitch, and that's it. And you gonna lie to my motherfucking face, hoe. That's it. That's all. That's it. We was done. Click, click, boom. It went from 3 TD to 2 TD, and I stand firm on that. And it is what it is, Jima. It is what it is. You
Lord.
Yeah. Let's bring it back now, because I have to stand 10 toes down on that one. But like, it really hurt me, not for nothing. But at the end of the day, it was a lesson learned. You feel me? It was a lesson learned. Like I said, no love lost. It's just, it won't ever be the same. And it's one of those things like in friendship, right? You always inviting people, hey, why don't you come and hang out? Let's do this together. Let's do that together. Let's all pitch in and do this together, right?
Right.
But when it's the flip side, you're never invited.
Ooh.
You're never invited.
Yeah, you want to be you're the friend that wants to, include everybody and make everybody feel welcome and feel like, hey, we all cool. But then when you call that friend, girl, what you doing? Oh, I'm over here chilling with my friends. Oh, no invite? Oh, girl, I didn't think you wanted to come. You always want to put it back on you.
You invite me when there's beef, because I'm very handsy, okay? You invite me when there's beef, but you don't invite me when there's good times.
Right.
You feel me? So it's like one of those things, like I just had to learn, like every friendship is not equal. And I had to dial back and just sit back and watch. And sit back and realize, like, yeah, bro, like, don't invite me at the last minute, bitch. If you gotta say, oh yeah, and she can come too. Nah, don't invite me, because I ain't coming.
Right.
I feel like a last resort.
Yeah, don't last resort me. You know what I mean?
You know what, too, also, but that also goes into outgrowing friendships due to being in like relationships. Like you get a girlfriend or a boyfriend, and then you kind of just like that friend just kind of just forgets about you, or you forget about that friend. Now you have some friendships that no friends and be like, girl, we're gonna be friends regardless at the end of the day when you're done with that thing over there, because I don't even know how long that's gonna last.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But then you have friendships where it's like you don't get back to being friends because that person is not with they person now, and they forgot about you. You were convenient for them when they didn't have anybody.
Or it could be that they jealous that you're with that person. What if they wanted that person?
That's that too. You still want to be with your friends and you still want to hang out, but they never want to hang out with you. And you be like, oh, got with that girl, you done changed. No, I haven't. I still try to invite you out. I even want to bring you to my house. I have you around my girlfriend, but you don't never want to come. So it could be vice versa. Yeah, true.
And it's one of those things where, like, I know one of my good friends, Jessica, she can vouch for it. Like, I always told her, like, bitch, I don't lose friendships over a relationship. Like, I just don't, because I learned earlier on, like, yeah, you're in a relationship, you're totally in love and blah, 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 right? But when that relationship is over, if it doesn't go to marriage, when that relationship is over and you need a shoulder to cry on, who's going to be there?
That friend,
your friends. And I, like you said, I've had friends who got into a relationship or gotten married and literally forgot that I existed. Right?
Are we talking about us?
I'm throwing clean shade right now.
Girl,
I got friends who got into some relationships that, they knew that, and couldn't even be my friend. But me being my friend's friend, I knew it. Don't you huff and puff. Being my friend's friend, I knew what she was going through, right? Because my friend is a lover. My friend loved to be loved and not loved on back, okay? But she gonna love, all right? And I knew what she was going through, and I knew that, okay, friend, when you done doing what you're doing with whatever, I'm gonna be here. I'm gonna check in on you from time to time, make sure you good. But I'm gonna check in on you because the dynamic of our friendship, I understood what it was. Right? And some people just block. Oh, you either my friend or you not. You gonna choose your relationship over me? I'm not choosing. You shouldn't put me in a position where I have to choose my relationship over you. That's number one. You're not my friend.
Maturity to come
right. And number two, it's not me choosing my relationship. It's me trying to find my forever person. And in this time of me trying to get to know my forever person, we may not hang out as much. Okay. Right. Because it's not just me anymore. It's me and this person. And as my friend, you shouldn't feel some way towards my person because they're taking all of my time. Because it is what it is. I have a friend right now, my old head. My old head got married. Me and my old head used to talk all the time. She got married. I barely hear from this bitch, okay? I see her posting the fucking dogs and shit. I see her going out to eat on Facebook, and I'll comment something sarcastic, and she already know. I knew you were coming. I know you know. As long as you know I'm coming every single time. Because I haven't seen her in almost a year and a half, almost 2 years per se.
But that's the friendship you guys have.
Exactly.
She understands. You understand. It's the understanding on both parties.
Exactly.
And that's
not a lot of people take that time to understand.
They don't.
They want what they want, and if they don't get what they want, then they move on to the next person that's gonna give.
And that's not a good friend to have in
correct.
Right.
And that's not.
That's a moocher.
One-sided.
It is one-sided. And then you know what? I've seen a quote, and it says, "Outgrowing a friendship doesn't always mean terminating the friendship. It can simply mean learning to adjust the degree of closeness and allowing the friendship to shift and evolve into something new." Mm-hmm. So you might have outgrew that connection you had in that particular friendship with that person, but y'all evolved and now y'all have a new type of friendship.
Mm-hmm. Right. Or even like not seeing eye to eye. Like people get into arguments in friendships and they can't recover. Right? Well, we can agree to disagree. I stand on what I say, you stand on what I said, but there's no problems. Like Melissa, me and Pender, we had issues with this whole shit here, right? But at the end of the day, it's like we still come together, we're still collective. Me and Pender, we hash it the fuck out. When I tell you, we go at it, me and her go at it. But at the end of the day, like I said to her, our friendship is more valuable than any of this. I'm still doing this regardless, right? But our friendship is more valuable. This is what we need to do because I need to know where we stand because I'm not about to lose a friend, a sister behind something so easily to navigate. Right? And as friends, you should be able to do that. Even if you don't see eye to eye, y'all should be able to talk and hash it out. It don't have to be disrespectful. It don't have to come to fighting. It don't have to come to like social media. It don't have to come to any of that. Because grown-ass people, grown-ass women and grown-ass men should be able to sit down and have a talk. I should be able to listen to you and you should be able to listen to me. We can agree to disagree. And we can agree.
If you can't have a friend who holds you accountable, who gonna call you out on your bullshit, and who gonna grow and make you evolve as a person, a woman, an individual, then that ain't a real friend. And literally, this right here, this podcast, literally, that was another test of our friendship that made us grow, evolve. I learned something about myself. I was like, dang, Shay, you put me in my place, and I ain't realized that I thought I had healed and did my therapy for abandonment issues, but I still got a little bit left out. So baby, listen. So a true friendship you will have tests.
Yeah, you'll get humbled.
And you will humble yourself in that friendship. And me and you've been through so much. We've lost our way and came back. And I tell you, our friendship is stronger than it's ever been in life. And we still go through what we go through, but we don't walk away from each other because we have so much loyalty and love for each other that it was like, baby, no, that's forever. We're going to be two old grandmas sitting on the porch talking shit about,
Yep.
It's forever, it's life.
Right. I cuss her out on the daily. I was just cussing you out a few minutes ago, to be honest, but it's all right. You here.
I know you was.
I know. You know I was cussing your ass out.
I was cussing your ass. I said she always changing shit up. But anyway.
So let's segue into what most people don't even know: friendship abuse. Ooh. There can be abuse in friendships, bro. And it's okay to let that friendship go. Like, your friends should not get upset with you and call you out your names, right? Go to social media and drag you.
Right.
Your friends should not abuse your kindness or your love that you have for them. Your friend should not take advantage of you in any way, shape, or form that they know would make you feel some way or hurt your heart.
You feel less of a person when you are around that person.
Because they abusing you. And
Right.
just like in any relationship, mental, physical, emotional, and whatever other abuse that there is out there, a friendship is like a relationship. And you
It
can
is.
go through all of those trials and tribulations with a friend that you need to let go, because they could be, it makes them feel better to make you miserable. It makes
Mm-hmm.
them feel better. Let's go into narcissistic friendship behavior,
It
right?
is.
Some friends are not only narcissists in relationships, there's also narcissism in friendships. They mad when the attention is not on them. So now they're going to talk shit about you jokingly to put the attention on you negatively. Oh, she's so funny. Ha ha. Why is the joke on me? Because the attention's not on you. You know what I'm saying? Narcissistic
Right.
friendships, like, case in point, this is an example. Like, you ain't gonna tell me you gonna go out here and drive reckless and it's my fault if you die.
Facts. And people say that, and people do that.
You
It's your
go ahead, baby. That's
Yeah.
your segue.
Right. That, and people do that. You know what I'm saying? Like, well, since I can't stay at your house after we drink it, if I get in my car and go home and get drunk, then I'm going and crash, then it's gonna be your fault. Why would you put that on me? You know what I'm saying? Like, and I might not even be hanging out with you. You might be hanging out with your other friends. But because I live, you know what I'm saying? Like, but there are some narcissistic things I see on social media, which is crazy. It's crazy. People do things for likes nowadays. It's so crazy. But there was a TikToker. There was a girl, and you can tell that she wasn't, I guess, all the way there per se. And this other girl was her friend, but she would literally abuse her on TikTok live. And there would be thousands of people who would tune in to watch the physical abuse, emotional abuse, like all this abuse to this friend, and for the likes and views. Like, that's some extreme, that's on the extreme level of it. But there are people who on an everyday basis that's not on social media that deal with friendships where people are physically abusive. And it may be like a playful thing. Like, I had a friend back in the day, and we would sit here and talk, and she was a hitter. Like, she would laugh and like, hit you on the shoulder, and punch you. And I don't like to be touched at all. Don't touch me. I like my personal space. And I'd be like, please stop touching me. Don't touch me. Don't hit me. Don't play with me. Stop touching me. Stop touching me. Because eventually, guess what? I'm going to get mad and I'm going to fire off on you. And then we really not going to be friends, because I'm going to leave you with a black eye and then you're going to be mad. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's people out here who do that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And that's also them not being accountable for their actions. You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to tell you what you did to me, but you want to turn it around and make it about you.
Right. Oh, you play too much, girl. That wasn't nothing.
I'm trying to tell you how you made me feel in this situation, but you can't hold yourself accountable. You want to tell me what I did to you in 1888, and that's why you did what you did to me, and you hold no accountability. Like, baby, I'm about to let you go, because if I can't come to you and say, Sierra, that day when we were walking and you said blase, blase, blah, it really hurt my feelings. If I don't hear, Shada, I'm so sorry that I hurt your feelings, I promise I won't do it again. Well, if I hear, you know what, I said that because remember when, I'm punching you in your face. And we're no longer friends, because you got to hold yourself accountable. Because if you come to me and say, hey, you hurt my feelings and I'm going to apologize and ask you, like, give me an example. Tell me how, tell me when. Okay, I'm sorry, I won't do that again. I didn't know that offended you, right? I'm holding myself accountable for hurting your feelings. And that's what a friend does. But a narcissistic friend is going to find a reason why they wasn't wrong for doing what they did or saying what they said to you.
Right. Every time.
Every single time. No accountability for their actions or their behaviors.
Right. And you know what? And then there are some people who are narcissists who will feed you what you want to hear at that time. Oh, yeah, I'm sorry, I won't do it again. And they give it or two, and then they back doing the same thing. And then that abuse is like a cycle, because you think they're going to stop, and then they stop, and they do it again. Until you actually get to the point where it's like, you know what? This person is playing with my intelligence. They're playing with my friendship. I no longer can be friends. And then you have to walk away from that friendship. I did that. I told this person who was a friend, like, listen, you come to me, you drain me, I can't do this, give me the respect that I need. Oh, okay, I will. And that person actually started to ask me before they got on the phone with me, do you have the mental space to be able to handle what I need to talk to you about? I'm like, all right. And eventually it stopped. And then they came back again and started doing it again and again and again. And I gave them another warning. Hey, we already had this conversation, friend. Let's go back to what we talked about. Oh my bad, oh my bad. And then they did it again and again. So guess what? I stopped answering the phone. I started answering text messages. You ain't got no access to me. And I don't know why. But maybe after they listen to this podcast, they probably understand why. Like, you ain't got access to me because I won't allow you anymore.
Right. I agree with that. Sometimes you have to just revoke the cards, revoke the access, revoke. Like, I see you texting, but I'm not going to answer it. Like, or I'm just going to block you so I don't have to worry about it. And it also runs into, like, you have friends who gaslight you. You have friends who say something happens and you're like, okay, well, let's talk about it. They don't want to talk about it. They just want to move on like it never happened. And because they can just move forward and forget about it, you should move forward and forget about it too.
Yeah, no, that's not right.
It's not going to work because I need to tell you. And then I just realized, like, after a while, I can't deal with this friendship. If this friendship is going to be like a relationship and we ain't even doing the nasty, I'm not dealing with it. And I probably wouldn't even deal with it even if I was doing the nasty with them. So it's like there's certain criteria and certain levels of outgrowing friendships. It just depends on how you look at it and what you're willing to tolerate. And I just always remember, people do to you what you allow them to do.
I got a question.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever ended a friendship because of personal hygiene? Or like, listen,
nah,
like,
my friend, she's staying. I'm sorry.
Like, listen, personal hygiene, or either when you come to their house ain't never clean, and it's like, what? When you come here, honey, you can lick the chicken off the floor if you wanted to. But when around you,
right.
You know, and I'll be trying to take you out and we be in public, we are a reflection of each other. If I'm going to come clean, correct, looking good, smelling good, baby, I expect that same from you. And I'm going to be your friend. And hey, if you ain't got it and I got it, let's go to the store and I'm going to buy you some outfits. You feel me? Let's go ahead and let's work on this hygiene. Let's do these things together because you know what? I love you and I don't want you to embarrass yourself. But then after a while, you see that this person just don't care about their personal self-care and they have a lot of personal issues that they need some real work in. Is it okay for you to end that friendship because it's not beneficial or healthy for your lifestyle? So you have to end friendships. I'm just asking if anybody ever ended a friendship off of.
No, I've never had to end a friendship. I understand friends versus acquaintances. I understand friends versus people I just talk to at work. While I'm here, bitch, we can be the best of friends. But when I leave, I ain't doing nothing with you outside of whatever establishment we in. And Melissa knows. I've already told her, like, yeah, I won't. We cannot do this outside of work. Okay, like we cannot do ABC and XYZ outside of certain spaces because first of all, I don't like to be embarrassed in public. I don't like to, because I'm already African American. They expect me to be loud and ghetto already. So I'm not going to go into any establishment being loud and ghetto and having people look at me. So therefore, like, I already know straight off the bat if I'm a deal with the person or not. Like, I know how far my friendship is going to go with anyone. So I never have to end a friendship because of hygiene. I never have to end a friendship because they don't know how to act in public. Because, baby, you already showed me you don't know how to act. So we ain't friends. We're acquaintances. You know what I mean? So, and I've never had a friend where it's just so bad. We're friends, but now it's so bad. You stink so bad. I have to stop being your friend. I mean, we can still be friends. I ain't coming over. We can still be friends. I'm never home. Like, we can be friends. We can talk on the phone from time to time, but I don't like having the phone. I don't like talking on the phone. So you got like 5 minutes before I throw it in airplane mode.
Right.
Like, so yeah, I know, friend, I ain't never had that problem.
But you know what, too, and that's a good thing too, right there, that you just said. Friendships and acquaintances. Some people are friends with people, while the people that they're friends with are just their acquaintance.
Yep.
And some people don't have that understanding of what you are. And so the person who is pouring so much into this person because, oh, this is my new best friend and I'm pouring everything into this person, and the other person looking like, we just acquaintances.
That ain't my friend. I'm gonna sleep with your man.
Oh,
Facts. You know what I'm saying?
oh, what? That went south real quick.
But that's how it be.
It's true though. It be like that.
That's
Like,
how
you
it be.
You gotta really know the people that you deal with, like, into your personal life, because people really be out here playing with people friendships, playing with people lives, playing with people like their vulnerability. And so you have people who don't know the difference between a friendship and an acquaintanceship.
Yep. I agree. I totally agree. People use the word friend too lightly.
Mm-hmm.
And then people stay stuck in friendships because of history, because of time, because of, let's say, everything that they've been through together. Like, people stay stuck inside of an ecosystem with a friend that is literally polluting your ecosystem and you can't breathe, but they got their head in the hole and getting fresh air. So it's like, why stay in a friendship that is not conducive to your growth, your development, and your lifestyle, and the way the woman or man that you're growing into? Because you never can be too old to learn new tricks and to change your ways. And if your friends are not elevating with you and pushing you forward and telling you like, yo, you can do it, I believe in you, like Melissa has done and like you have done, if people aren't just pouring into you as much as you pour into them, that's a one-sided friendship. If you bring it to the table and tell them how you feel and they are not receptive to it, it's okay to respectfully part ways. There's no love lost. I still love you, but I realize, like, this friendship, it's not giving what I'm giving into the friendship.
One-sided.
It's one-sided.
Yeah, definitely.
So,
and I had a good point, and I forgot it, girl.
It's okay. You listen. It's okay. We'll come back to that later on the recap.
That's why we need them friends that when we get old, because you know we getting old, girl, that's gonna be able to catch my dementia when your dementia go out. You know, we're gonna be able to be there for
be walking down the road talking about, and where we going again?
Girl, I forgot. Let's start over.
Let's turn around and go back home.
I'm done.
That's it.
Right.
So,
but
guys,
but you shouldn't feel bad. Like, at my first point, like, you should not feel bad with outgrowing friendships. Like, and sometimes it's necessary to outgrow those friendships. You know, like, oh, this is the point I was trying to get at. See, look at God.
Look at it.
But I realized as the older I got, the smaller my circle got.
Yes.
Amen.
Oh my God. And it's a beautiful thing. You know what I'm saying? Because when you're young, when you're young, you're ready to hit the street, you're ready to hit the party, you're ready to do your thing. And so you're meeting a lot of people, and you invite a lot of people to your personal space that you consider friends. But as you grow and you mature, you realize, okay, those were not my friends. And I can literally count on one hand how many friends, like real deal friends, I have outside of family, meaning like outside of family. And it's like two.
You start being more homebody, and I can thank my wife for that, because I used to always want to be on the go, out, not necessarily going clubbing or just out of the house doing something, just us. But lately I've been catching myself just, you know what, let's just stay home and watch some movies, or let's just stay home and play with the kids. Like, it to do what? To see the same people over and over again at the club. Clearly they haven't leveled up. To hear the same bullshit. It's just, I'd rather be home.
True.
It's too expensive to be out in these streets.
And nowadays, yes. When I can do all of that at home, I could cook, make drinks, blend some drinks.
Yes.
It'll be the same thing.
Yes. And I agree, as I've gotten older, man, I had a lot of friends. I had a lot of acquaintances. I had a lot of friends. When I got into the motorcycle life, I had a shitload of people, right? Yeah. I can tell you, let's say start with motorcycle life. When my bike went down, I realized all them people that was, hey, you need come out. hey, my bike don't work. I stopped hearing from them, right? Like people that I rode with every day outside of my dog, Christina, rest in peace. I'm always going to shout you out. People that I rode with every day, like I just stopped hearing from them. And I'm just like, damn, where all my motorcycle friends go? But they wasn't my friends. They were acquaintances. And they used me because I was a body on a bike to create a massive look. You know what I mean? And then
to add to their numbers.
To add to the numbers. Right.
Yeah.
So, and then when I talk about my friends, like I went from having a lot of people, like I used to text all day, talk on the phone all day, message all day. But then like I realized in this whole podcast topic, like you only call me when you're going through it with your husband. You only call it when you're going through it with your girlfriend. You only call me when you're going through it with your man. You only call me when you're going through it with your cousin, uncle, whatever. You're only calling me when there is drama. You're only calling me when there's a fight. You're only calling me when you're down, right? You're not calling to invite me to the beach. You're not calling to invite me to the house party. You're not calling to say, hey, what you doing for Memorial Weekend? You're not calling me to do none of that, but you're only calling me when it's beneficial to you.
Negative.
Exactly. I started cutting these people off. And then about time I was done, I had less than a handful of people that I can literally call my sisters. I'm going to shout them out. I have Stella. Stella lives in Georgia. I talk to her. We have a WhatsApp chat. But me, her, and Tori, we're in this chat. We don't see each other every day. We don't talk every day, but we check in. I've been friends with them since 2008. Oh, wow. And our friendship has not changed. They know me, I know them, and they know our ecosystem. It's just the three of us. No one can penetrate this ecosystem, you know? Right. And then I have me and Bestie here. Like, our ecosystem. Who? My bestie here, right?
Oh, I thought you said your bestie. Girl, I thought you said something else.
Oh, call you by your first name. Damn. I didn't call you by your first name. Not bestie.
Okay.
So I have my bestie here. Like, now our ecosystem is fluent. Okay? Like, we're not selfish with each other. I've met her friends. Some of them I like, some of them I don't like. She's met some of my friends. I don't know, some of them she likes, some of them she don't like. But she always had to tell me, Shayla, be nice, because I'm not nice. But for her, I'm nice, right? Because I really don't like these hoes. I don't need no new friends, right? But because you my friend's friend, I never get it twisted. You're not my friend, you're an acquaintance, right? And vice versa. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. I'm just thinking of something because you a trip.
Yeah. You're an acquaintance.
Yeah.
Right? And vice versa. Right? So it's like, as I've gotten older, I really don't need too many friends, because when you have too many friends, that brings drama. That brings he say, she say. That brings, oh, so and so said this.
We're not in high school no more.
Listen,
we're not that era in our life.
Okay, I don't have time for it, and I don't like getting angry, and I don't have the time or the bandwidth for a negative circle. So my circle is super, super small, and I've thrived this way. I've grown in this circle, and I'm just like, I find people who can be conducive, and I bring in. But if you don't last long, there's no love lost, baby. I'm used to this.
Right.
I'm true to this. I'm used to it, you know? And that's where people get it messed up. They keep people around because they just want to have people. I don't really care to have people.
And you know what? Have you ever had a friendship with somebody before and you end up stop being friends with that person, and they realize that you were really a good friend because now they've matured, they leveled up, and now they want to be friends with you, and you're looking like,
no, baby. Once we done, we done. I'll be cordial. It's high and by, but we ain't gonna hang up. We ain't gonna get together. We ain't gonna go out. There's no text message me. There's no, hey girl, how you doing? It's nothing.
You had that opportunity and you lost it.
Once a person show you who they are, believe them.
Right. I'm like, I see you over there, girl. Okay, I see you, but I'm not going over there.
That's it.
Yeah. I recently had something happen like that, and that somebody segued and was like, hey, you want to hang out with all three? I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I'll call you. I ain't call nobody. I'm not. I'm not doing that. No, I got too much going. I got
You're not doing that.
I'm not doing that. Like I don't have the energy to even. I don't want to. I just don't want to now.
Because you outgrew that friendship.
Right.
And when a person shows you who they are, believe them. Because a zebra don't change their stripes, whether they're black or the white. They don't change their stripes.
They don't. But I really do appreciate the friendships like that I do have as well. Like your friendship, I really do. Like me and you, we talk in the morning. Or you on the way to work. Hey, Pendy. Hey, bestie. How you doing, girl? We be talking about something, everything. You know, you got a best friend who's more than a friend, sister, when she can tell you about her shits on the way to work. It's like, you know, like that's some real ass friend.
Damn, put all my business out there.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's.
But I mean, she's just stating facts. Like that's when you know you're more than friends.
Yeah.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And you don't turn your nose up at it. Like, girl, me too. Oh my God. You know what I'm saying? Like y'all just be going back and forth. So you appreciate the friendships that you know that even though you outgrew them, well, you didn't even outgrow. Well, you did outgrow them, but you outgrow them and you both matured into another friendship that's so much more meaningful.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. So the lesson we learned today is cultivate and nurture the friendships that are pouring into you the same way that you're pouring into them. And those friendships that you see are a dead end, it is okay to let it go.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to thank you for tuning in to this episode of UniSpeaks Podcast. We hope you enjoyed today's discussion as much as we did. Next week, we are going to dive into episode 8, Karma. Have you paid your tab or have you served justice? This episode, y'all don't want to miss. We say what we said and we said what we said. Say
facts.
Period. As always, we want to hear from you. Share your thoughts, experiences, and suggestions in the comment section below. Your feedback is invaluable to us and it helps us create content that resonates with you. Please stay connected with us on all social media platforms for updates and behind the scenes content. All links will be provided below. Like, share, subscribe, and comment before you go. And we out.
Bye.
Bye.
Hey there, music lovers and podcast listeners. Are you ready to groove to the beat of your own podcast? Well, look no further than the Wise Observer, the musical genius behind the infectious tunes of UniSpeaks Podcast. With his magic touch, the Wiser Observer transforms ordinary moments into unforgettable experiences, infusing every beat with energy, passion, and soul. Whether you're looking for a catchy track or a mood-setting background melody, he got you covered. You can connect with him on Instagram at The Wiser Observer and TikTok, The Wiser Observer, for a sneak peek into his creative process and musical masterpieces. And if you are ready to take your podcast to the next level, book him on Fiverr for personalized music that your soul can't resist moving to. Don't miss out on this opportunity to elevate your podcast with enchanting sound of the Wiser Observer. Get ready to dance to the rhythm of your own success. Please note that this promotional skit was not sponsored by Fiverr, TikTok, or IG. Crystals, sage, and bullshit, and I'm out.